In this video, I spent 100 days in extreme modded Minecraft. With this new version of modded Minecraft, there are a ton of new mobs, with each being more deadly than the last. Not to mention, I'm playing on a custom map where the biomes are crazy, but there's one thing that's even better. On this mountain right here, I will attempt to defeat the Blackstone Golem. Do you think I can do it? Watch until the end to find out. I have 3 goals for this, and I want to defeat the Blackstone Golem, get the arm of the Blackstone Golem and craft that, and get gilded netherite armor. Also, only 0.8% of you guys are subscribed, so if you're not yet, then subscribe, because I need more subscribers.
That was a joke, but subscribe.
It is day 1, and the first thing I did was go to a tree and got some wood. I made some wood tools with that, and then went over to this rock mound over here, and decided to look for some cobble. I only found actual cobblestone instead of regular stone, so I just crafted that. I got some stone tools, and I decided to look for some actual places, and I found this cool cave, and I wanted to go down there and look for some iron. I started to mine down, and I got bored of that, so I started to do parkour to get down, and I don't know what I was thinking. Because I just died after 2 jumps, so I'm glad I didn't do this in hardcore. So I went back over there and decided that those tools were long gone, so I just left the cave area and made some new ones. And then I got some stone from this rock place over here and made some stone tools. I decided to try and go back down because I really wanted iron, but it was getting late, so I boxed up and waited out the night. Day 2, and I kill every sheep I see, and then there's a wandering trader who has no good trades. I also had 0 emeralds, so I killed him like any normal person would do, and then got some leads, which was kind of cool. I got some planks and really wanted to try and get down there, but there was no way I would be able to. So I decided to try it another way and dug a hole. I dug for quite some time, and then I made my way over to the cave, which is awesome. There was some iron right down there, so I got my first iron, and there was coal so I could smelt it. I put the coal in the furnace and the iron, and I was on my way to a full set of iron armor. Then I killed this skeleton, which they have aimbot and I hate them. I got some emeralds because this is a custom map, and I guess it's very easy to get ores. Killed an enderman, and got some more iron. And for no reason, did a cinematic of me running in the caves. Enjoy. I ran down into this cave and got 1 more emerald right here. Pretty cool. And then there was literally nothing that I could find for the rest of the day, so I bridged out, and it was nighttime, so I went to bed. Day 3, I started to run around, and the environment just looked really cool on this map. It was definitely a good choice for me to use it. It is linked in the description below if you want to check it out. I found this area, and it was perfect for a house, so I mined some dark oak, stripped wood, because that's what the trees around had. And I placed these 2 things for a doorway. Then I placed down my furnaces and crafting table and decided to smelt the rest of my iron. While I waited for that, I got some wood and came back to my house. I got 21 iron, which was more than enough to make a full set of iron armor because I just needed a helmet and boots. And boom, like that on day 3, full iron set of armor, and I made a shield. I placed my bed down so I have a spawn point and began to dig out the floor plan of my house. Once I finished digging out the floor, I needed some blocks to fill it in with because I didn't really have much other than dirt, so I went around and looked at the mountains to see what I could get. It was mostly diorite, so I wasn't going to take that. Right to the next to my house, there's this cool little log thing, and I just thought it was cool. I came up on the backside of the Blackstone mountain, and it had concrete, so I was like, alright, I'm going to take that. So I mined quite a bit of it. I got the light gray concrete. It looked pretty good, and I went back to my house and started placing it down. I had 3 sugar canes, so I just wanted to get those growing so I can get paper later on. And I also needed these cows because I needed leather, so I grabbed them with the murdered leads and made some fences, made them a little pen, and then placed them in. After getting the cows in, I made a chest and made another one because my inventory was looking like garbage. I made a bucket and filled it with water, and then went on to destroy some birch leaves because it was in the way of my house. I placed some pillars, and it was looking pretty decent. I had a little montage of me building it, but it got corrupted, so great. I made a farm and planted some seeds. I did not want zombies trampling over the farm, so I put a little fence around it. I wanted to access the farm pretty easily, so I placed some slabs over the water, and now I could walk over it. I knew I chose a good spot because there were light rays coming over the mountain and it looked great. Day 4, and I wanted to finish the floor, so I ran back over to the Blackstone Mountain and needed some blocks. I ended up getting the wrong type of block after running all the way over. I got cyan terracotta, so I destroyed those and ran all the way back over and got some of the proper block. As I was running home, I destroyed a lot of grass, so I got some seeds, planted those, and then finished up the floor to the bottom story of the house. It was looking pretty good. I wanted the glass, so I went over to the beach and destroyed the environment. I got 14 sand for each furnace. While I was waiting for that to smelt, I went and grabbed some wood. I found the absolute prime location for another pillar because it was looking pretty bad there if that was one big window. Then I placed the cross beams, and it was looking decent. I got all the glass from the furnaces, decided to make that into glass panes, and placed in the glass. It was getting closer to night at this point, and I wanted to do some exploring, because this map is sick. So I climbed this diorite mountain, destroyed some grass, and looked at the river. It was not worth the run, I'm going to be honest with you. So I ran all the way back down the mountain, and grabbed a boat, and decided to film a cinematic. Enjoy. I thought that was a river, but it ended up being a lake, and I wanted to explore these because they were absolutely sick. I mean, imagine if mesa biomes looked like this in Minecraft. And because I wanted to, boom, another cinematic, you already know. After climbing 30 or 40 blocks, it was kind of cool up here, but also was pretty boring, so I decided to scale back down and explore towards the Blackstone Volcano Mountain. It was pretty cool, but I also did not want to go up there yet, so I ran towards the desert because I wanted bone blocks to bone meal my plants because I was basically dying of hunger. I killed a sheep on the way so I could sprint, but I did not sprint the entire way home. I made those into bone meal and decided to work on the farm a little more. With the wheat that I got from the farm, I finally bred the 2 cows, and I was on my way towards a cow farm. I got the achievement, the parrots and the bats. If you know, you know. I would have spent the rest of the day working on the farm, but my mom called me, so I went AFK, and I came back towards the night. I couldn't sleep, so I had to kill the skeleton, which all skeletons are annoying. Then I wanted to be frisky and do some parkour to get into my bed. And day 7, I worked on the farm a little bit more. With all of the wheat I had from that, I decided to make some bread because I was dying of hunger. I got 33 and chopped some more wood because I actually wanted a second story on my house. I made this cool slab staircase and then began to work on the second story of the house. I got 4 blocks into that when I realized almost all my tools were gone, so I went back down into the mines, grabbed some iron, and saw this little opening over here, and I decided to dig down because there are 0 diamonds anywhere in sight. While I was digging down through dirt, midway through the core of the earth, which was weird, I came across my first diamond, and it was on day 7. I was pretty jazzed. I got down to the proper Y level, and started to strip mine because there were no more caves down here, and it wasn't working out for me too well. And after a bit of strip mining, actually not too much, I wasn't too far down the well, I found another diamond. Or should I say diamonds? I was expanding my strip mines when I came across this giant cave with a diamond staring at me straight in the face. Also, there were diamonds over there, so I was doing pretty good. After getting the 1 diamond over there, I went and grabbed this big vein, and it had quite a lot of them. I was not going to be needing diamonds anytime soon. I didn't know this map would be so easy to get diamonds on and other minerals and ores, but it was a great decision on my part. I picked it because it was the proper version of Minecraft. I was running back home, and I fell into the lava. And I already had a ton of diamonds, so while I was there, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna spend the 10 hours, make my armor, and get some obsidian. The worst thing to mine. But yeah, I also got full diamond armor, which is pretty nice. So day 8, not doing bad. I got 1 obsidian when I saw a slime over there, and I knew that I would want to make redstone things sometime in the future through the series. And last series, I had 3 baby zombies come at me. This one I had 4. It's pretty crazy. Awful luck on these 100 days videos. Go check out the other video after you finish this one, because this one's just way better, let's be honest. 2 creepers blew up, I deflected it, and they showed me 1 more diamond, which I was not going to oppose. So I spent the next long time getting the obsidian and went to bed. On day 9, I decided to make my nether portal. And I made it upstairs, and my upstairs was way too small for it, and it was a big regret because I did not want to mine more obsidian. I lit it up, and it was looking pretty cool, so I went in. I'm gonna be honest, not the greatest nether spawn I've had, not the worst though. So I broke through that, and there was a ton of zombie pigmen. Did not want to hit one of those. I did quite a lot of running because I wanted a nether fortress. After seeing literally nothing, I decided to give up on day 11, and by the time I got out, it was day 12. So I went downstairs and redid the furnaces and the crafting tables. It looked pretty good. I bred the cows a little more because needed more leather if I was going to get books. I looked over there and saw a place that I can make a sheep farm because I knew I would need wool for beds to blow up the nether so I can get netherite. So I looked around, I found these 2 sheep and put them in their pen. I gave them a quick breed and then went to sleep to start day 13. Day 13 started and I breeded them again, and then I bred the cows. I forgot to show the cinematic of me building the top of the house and like finishing the upstairs a little bit, but you can see it from this angle right here. And it was looking pretty decent. I mean, not the greatest house I've ever built, but definitely not the worst. And I watched the pretty sunset and went to bed. It is day 14. I made some chests, placed them upstairs in a 2x2 fashion. Placed all my crap in them, spent a long time sorting my chests into basically like building blocks, miscellaneous, and then valuables and tools and stuff like that. After I finished that up, I finally cleared the bottom story chests, and I placed them underneath the staircase. I thought it was a pretty good location. I went into the nether to find the fortress, and I grabbed some easy XP along the way. After running for a little while, I found my first actual new mob. This is the piglin beast, and I thought it was going to be very hard. I came up being real cautious, and it didn't hit me once. I expected a lot more, so I threw some gold at it. I'm like, come on, fight me. It just didn't do anything. So I was like, alright, fine. Yeah, I even pushed up against it, didn't even hit me. So I just decided to kill it. The only thing it did was wave its arm, and I thought that did something, but it didn't. Right next to that was a soul sand valley where I saw my first nightmare. This is what it is, and it's just basically a horse. I saw 2 soul reapers in the corner, and I didn't know how powerful they were yet, so I went over there and fought one. It shot straight through my shield, completely gave me wither effect, and I was already running on soul sand, so I decided to, hardcore parkour over there. Tried the shield again, nope, didn't even know it had a sword, whipped out a sword on me. I'm so glad I didn't do this in hardcore, because I would have been dead meat 100 times over with this thing. So I tried to block up, Fortnite, crank some 90s. And that didn't work, so I just sat there, just protecting myself with my shield, and I eventually just gave up and just died. I eventually made my way all the way back over there. I brought blocks because I was being optimistic that I'd get my stuff back, and jumped straight into lava. So it's day 18 now, and I'm on the hunt to get my stuff back. I do some epic bridging over there while it's shooting at me, grabbing all the stuff I can. Got over, I grabbed some stuff I didn't quite know yet because I was too busy trying to survive. I looked and I got literally nothing that was diamond, so, he was still guarding my stuff. I tried to take a different angle to grab my stuff back. I had an ender pearl, so I was pretty confident that I could grab the stuff and ender pearl out of there. So I went on the hunt, there was a gas shooting at me, I got all my diamond stuff, hopefully, I thought it was, and ender pearled out of there. I was not about to deal with him today. After that very traumatic experience, I grabbed some of the new awesome light source block and went home. Day 19 rolled around and I just did a bunch of farming. I was gonna get kitted up on the wheat. Soon after that, I went and grabbed some oak logs because I really wanted an actual roof, because I wanted this house to be over and done with. I made what I thought would be a cool roof, but then I forgot to consider the other side, which was completely flat. and it was a big mistake. So I went to bed, you know, it's day 20, and I just made a flat roof. I liked it way better, you know, put some glass up there so you can see, get some natural light, and my nether portal was sticking out, but I was gonna completely overlook that. I looked at it from the side, and I realized, you know, it was alright. Not the best roof, not the worst, but it was alright. So I grabbed some gravel, and made an easy, nice, simple pathway that would make the house look 10 times better. Yeah. I needed some more stuff, like resources, so I came back all the way over to the Pit of Death and MOG watered down. I did some running, and this creeper was trying to take all of my diamonds from me, so I found these 2 diamonds right here. Day 21, I found some diamonds beneath my feet right here, and I got some iron, which was pretty awesome. I ran all the way back over to the obsidian pile because I wanted to make an enchanting table. You know, I got some obsidian, it was annoying, but you had to do it. Killed this zombie, thought it looked pretty cool. And then I started to what I'm calling MLG arrowing this skeleton. After I made that skeleton mad, I found my way to where I bridged down the first time and went back up the staircase. I ran home from the forest, and day 22 starts. I made my enchanting table, ran it upstairs, and placed it right next to my nether portal. I got some basic enchants on my things. I made a diamond axe because I was mining a lot of wood and I wanted it to be quicker. I went out and started to harvest some sugarcane also. Then I tended to my more demanding farm of bone mealing all of my crops and then breeding my cows. And you can't leave out the sheep, so I turned around and bred the sheep. I made an anvil and placed it next to my bed. Before I went into the nether, I wanted some peace, so I went up on the mountain again and looked at my house. Day 23, I wanted to see if this would work, so I tried to get him in a boat, and it actually worked. He was still able to shoot his arrows at me, but when I got close, it went to swords mode, so I could just crit him out with my axe. He also dropped a wither skeleton skull, which is amazing. So I did it to the other guy. He was not so easily able to get into the boat, so I was slightly concerned, but I ran behind it and killed him too. He did not drop a wither skeleton skull, so I was kind of, you know, disappointed on that. And then I turned around and find yet another one of these, so I used the epic boat tactic and killed him too. He did not drop a wither skeleton skull. After running for quite some time, I found a nether fortress. I was psyched. I went in there and used the same tactics I used on the other guy onto this guy right here. I stumbled across a necromancer and he spawned these guys at me, so I tried to boat him, but one of them got free. And these guys in combination with this skeleton death combo, I was so nearly dead there. I was at 1.5 hearts. That skeleton, very annoying. It was day 30 now, and I wanted to kill him on day 30 because I would be sick. And he was a lot more challenging than I thought. He made my vision go all weird. And if you look at the bottom right, there was a ton of noises that I was hearing. He didn't fight back much. He was actually running away from me towards the end. And he dropped a book with Prod 3 and Smite 4, which is awesome. I went to get these blaze rods, and the blazes were being quite annoying and not cooperating. And I also only had one more piece of food. I finished him up and began to loot. This chest had 3 diamonds in it, which was a score. And then these guys just kept on coming. I got out of there after realizing I actually don't need blaze rods quite yet, so I got some glowstone and went back home. I was just there to fix my inventory and get everything that I needed to find this bastion. I ran for quite a long time to find this, but it also wasn't too far. In the first chest, I found an ancient debris, and then a silk touch pickaxe in the other one. These guys all tried to gang up on me, and it was very loud, as you can see at the bottom right. I'll turn this down as I'm recording. And I found a gilded black shard, which I need 4 of those to summon the golem. It took me until day 60 to find another bastion, because I really needed to get those shards. I made my way up to the top of it, where they have like lava lakes, and these guys wanted to scrap. You know, I was like, alright. I used my netherite sword that I acquired in the other bastion, and decided to loot this place. There is a whole ton of gold down there, but I also did not want to deal with that spawner right there, so I went, destroyed it, and then decided to go down there and get the gold. I had to finish up some magma cubes before I can actually do it, because pretty annoying. You know, they kept respawning, but I had my sword in hand to deal with them. So I grabbed a bunch of gold. I was set for life. And in this chest there was 2 diamond pieces of armor and a netherite scrap, which is awesome. After spending a ton of time in there, I had 3 shards. I just needed 1 more to actually summon it. I found a chest with 2 netherite scraps, which is awesome. 1 more shard, a few spectral arrows, and some iron blocks, which I didn't really need. It took me 6 days to get back because I actually knew where I was going this time, so I went to bed, and now it's day 67. Using the netherite scraps, I made 1 netherite ingot. I made a fletching table soon after that to put it on my diamond chestplate. I made a stone cutter because you need it to make the chiseled polished Blackstone holder, which you need 4 of those to summon the Blackstone Golem. So with that, I made the Blackstone holder, and then I went over and got some enchants on the netherite sword. I ended up getting fire aspect, which was really cool. I went out and harvested some more sugarcane. With that, I made some books because I got the paper from the sugarcane. I got 5 and made 1 bookshelf. With that, I went to bed. On day 68, I sheared the sheep. I wanted to go netherite hunting, so I got 7 beds from those sheep. And then I went to go into the nether. I didn't want my mine to be too far away from my portal, so I just turned around and started mining. I placed my first bed, I messed up the block right there, and here is a bed montage. All of those beds ended up getting me 7 ancient debris, so that's 1 ancient debris for 1 bed. Day 69, and I went to go breed the sheep, because what else would you do on day 69? And then I killed some cows. Right after that, I was able to make 2 netherite ingots. I put it on my axe, and then I put it on my Silk Touch diamond pickaxe. I wanted to make a special room where I can enchant and make it look all cool, so I dug out this diorite room, and it was looking like a Yeti cave, but it also looked pretty cool. I went and grabbed some dark oak logs to place for the floor. It was starting to look pretty good, if I do say so myself, but it needed a few more things. It needed a nice, simple pathway. I didn't want sand at all in this pathway, so I mined all of it. Then I went over with my Silk Touch shovel and got some grass blocks. I made the pathway look pretty good, because pathway equals better land. That's a Dr. Duke fact right there. Day 70, and I got some gravel and started to place it down on the pathway to the enchanting room. It's in my way, so I spammed my shears on the leaves. I had my recording on OBS pause during this, so 2 days went by, but this is what it's looking like. I used my Blackstone brick blocks to make the interior, and I put some leaves with some light sources around it to give it more of like a viney look. I don't know, I was very proud of this build. I don't know, it just looked pretty cool. And the light sources paid off because you could really see it at night. Day 73, I grabbed my enchanting table and my bookshelf and put it into the enchanting room. I really wanted to make a full bookshelf, so I harvested a lot more sugarcane and planted a lot more as well. Saw a dolphin and just swam with it. It was pretty cool. I got some more logs because I wanted to expand the fence and make the area around my house just look a lot better. I finished up the area for the sheep so that they can grow more wool quicker, and they also got a bigger pen out of it. After I was done with the sheep, I made a really cool extension to the farm, and when it was all bone mealed, it just ended up looking really cool. I looked out my window proud of what I did, and now it's day 74. I went back to the nether and grabbed a few light source blocks, but I was there for the netherite, so enjoy this bed montage. I made it out of the nether, and I killed this guy who was standing right next to my nether portal. And I went to bed. Day 79, and I wanted to make a cool dock coming off the lake. I think it turned out pretty good, and I wanted to make it a little better, so I went and grabbed some boats and placed them down. While I was running, I noticed that the beach area looked atrocious. There's just grass blocks everywhere and stuff, so I fixed that up real quick. Then I needed to shear the sheep. With the one netherite ingot that I had, I put it on my legs. Day 80 rolls around, and I really wanted to make the beach area look cooler, so I tried to do this, like, umbrella vibe kind of thing. It definitely didn't turn out the greatest, but I think it'll do for now. For an extra touch, I went around and placed some glowstone underneath some leaf blocks to add some light. I also did the same thing to the farm area. And as you can see, it turned out pretty freaking awesome. I was able to make 5 more bookshelves, so I went in and put them into the enchanting room. There's a lot of area up here that was just in the way, so I went in and tried to clear it manually with shears, but it was getting too long, so I went in and took my flint and steel to it. That ended up working way better than doing it manually, and I enjoyed committing arson. I got it all settled and cleared, but I needed some more obsidian if I wanted to make the nether portal. So I went back into the caves, found some more diamonds right next to the lava lakes, and then I went on to spend a long time getting a bunch of obsidian. I made it back on day 82. I tried to make like this cool frame of it, but it ended up being awful and I would have to destroy it later. So enjoy this epic build montage. This has to be one of my favorite builds I've ever built in the entire existence of me playing Minecraft, but I wanted to make it a little better, so I went around, destroyed all the grass blocks, and made it look like the nether was kind of coming out of the portal. I had to go to the nether to grab a lava bucket, and then after I grabbed that lava bucket, I played some ping pong with the gas. I grabbed some more blocks from the nether and placed them down in front of the portal because I was not about to do the back of the portal. And went to bed. Day 87, and I placed some fire around the portal, make it feel a little better. Then I made a staircase out of some Blackstone blocks. It looked pretty sick, walking up that staircase to go to your sword nether portal. Absolutely sick. Enough about that, but I made 6 more bookshelves and placed them into the enchanting room. I was 1 bookshelf off to getting level 30 enchants, and when I placed that, boom, sharp 3 on the diamond sword. So I went to bed. And I placed some barrels over here so I can put the lapis. Got a great view of my sword because it just looks sick. I got some more beds, the most I've ever had on a nether trip. Went through my awesome sword and was going to get full netherite armor. After all of that was said and done, I ended up with 12 ancient debris, the most I've ever had on a mining trip, and it was sick. What was even better was walking out from my sword. Coolest build I've ever done. I smelted up all the ancient debris, and was able to make 3 netherite ingots. I crafted a grindstone so that I could disenchant some things, before I made them into netherite. I ended up making a netherite helmet, and I took my boots and made those into netherite as well. I ran over to the enchanting area, but sadly I did not have 30 levels, so, I had to do a quick little mining montage. I came back home on day 96, got an efficiency 4 netherite pickaxe, best enchant ever, and a prop 4 protection 3 netherite chestplate. I fixed my silk touch pickaxe, and because I had a netherite ingot laying around, I made it into netherite. I had some trapdoors left over, and I wanted my house to look just a little better, so I placed them along the side just to add a bit more depth. I had some more, and it would look very cool on the dock, and of course it did. And lastly, I placed some trapdoors over the barrels, and the enchanting room just looks sick. Day 96, and here it is. I decided to finally fight the Blackstone Golem. So I ventured my way all the way over there to get to the surface of the mountain. It was getting way too dark, and I didn't want to fight him in the complete utter darkness, so I waited out the night and then scaled the mountain on day 97. And now it's time to summon him. I ate my golden apple in preparation of this fight, and I waited for him to get idle. He finally turned around, and then I was all safe in here. I didn't want to do too much damage to him while I was in here because that would kind of be a cop-out, so I just hit him for a little bit. And by a little bit, I mean about half his health. Wanted to get out of there, but there was no chance I could run and leave, so I threw my ender pearl out and decided to fight him like an actual man. The second I leave, he turns blue and flings me into the air. He tries to climb up here and kill me, but I just keep knocking him back. I got into a very bad situation, and I had to use my other ender pearl. I went back into my hiding hole and did a bit more damage to him. When eventually I had to leave and fight him. He was doing a lot more damage this time, and I really didn't want to die. He got me into the corner. I was just running for dear life, so I ran back in there, ate some steak. And then I came back, went to get him, and he was not letting up. I was so desperate because he was so close to killing me that I literally had to climb down the mountain. And guess what he did? He followed me. So I ran over there, he hit me across the side of the mountain, and then threw something at me that made me blind. He was really close to killing me there, and he kept scaling down the mountain so I could not run away. When I was trying to go back up and kill him, my water bucket turned to ice, so that wasn't great. I also had minor fatigue, so I couldn't break it or anything. And it was getting dark, and I got him into a little corner here, and I was about to lay the final blow. So I do a 360, like I always do. You know, the other video I did it, now I gotta do it for this. And I killed him. Finally did it, but there are two little mini golems down there, and I had to finish them off real quick. Once I got those guys finished, I ended up getting the Blackstone Golem Heart and the Gilded Netherite Ingot. So I ran back home on day 97, and with that Blackstone Heart, I can make what I've been wanting to make. The Blackstone Golem Arm. This thing is sick, and I decided to test it out on some zombies. So you charge it up, and then you shoot it, and it's just really dope. It makes them blind, slow, and have minor fatigue. It was day 97, I worked hard, and then I went to bed. Day 98 rolls around, and I wanted to get one of my goals ticked off my list, and I took my netherite armor, my chest plate, and made it into a gilded netherite chest plate. And I ain't gonna lie, I was looking pretty sick with that thing on. Day 99, I made a cinematic just to capture everything that I had done, but it wasn't quite over yet. I was exploring and I found this entirely new biome. It was an ice mountain, so I went to the top of it and there were new mobs, and I wasn't prepared to fight them.